1. A bolt from the blue. This expression means a sudden, unexpected event or piece of news. Example sentence. The announcement of his resignation was a bolt from the blue. Origin. The image dates back to the 19th century and compares shocking news to lightning striking from a clear blue sky, an unusual and startling event that seems to come without warning. 2. A changing of the guard. This expression means a shift in leadership or authority. Example sentence. The company's restructuring marks a changing of the guard at the top. Origin. The phrase refers to the ceremonial replacement of palace guards, especially the famous ritual at Buckingham Palace, and later came to symbolize any orderly transfer of power. 3. A day late and a dollar short. This expression means too late and insufficient to be effective. Example sentence. By the time he offered to help, it was a day late and a dollar short. Origin. This mid-20th century American expression reflects everyday financial realities, combining the idea of mistiming with not having enough money to solve a problem. 4. A good many. This expression means a large number of. Example sentence. A good many people showed up for the concert. Origin. In 17th century English, the word good was often used as an intensifier, strengthening the sense of quantity rather than moral quality. 5. A grain of salt. This expression means a skeptical or cautious approach to something. Example sentence. Take his story with a grain of salt. He tends to exaggerate. Origin. The phrase traces back to the Latin cum grano salis, associated with Pliny the Elder, who described adding a grain of salt to a remedy, later interpreted metaphorically as accepting something cautiously. 6. 110%. This expression means an exaggerated way of saying full effort or dedication. Example sentence. The team gave 110% during the playoffs. Origin. The expression grew popular in 20th century sports culture, where athletes and coaches used exaggerated percentages to express effort beyond the ordinary maximum. 7. A knee-jerk reaction. This expression means an immediate, unthinking response. Example sentence. His criticism was a knee-jerk reaction to the new policy. Origin. The term comes from the medical reflex test, identified in the 19th century, in which tapping the knee produces an automatic response without conscious thought. 8. A left-handed compliment. This expression means a remark that seems flattering but contains an insult. Example sentence. When he said I was smarter than I look, it felt like a left-handed compliment. Origin. In the 19th century, left-handed often suggested awkwardness or insincerity, as the right hand was traditionally associated with skill and honor. 9. A leg up. This expression means an advantage or boost. Example sentence. Internships can give students a leg up when job hunting. Origin. The phrase comes from horseback riding, where a rider would receive a physical boost by having someone lift their leg to help them mount. 10. A lemon. This expression means a defective or flawed product, often a car. Example sentence. That used car turned out to be a real lemon. Origin. In early 20th century American slang, lemon referred to something worthless or disappointing, possibly influenced by the fruit's sour taste. 11. A leopard can't change its spots. This expression means a person's true nature cannot be altered. Example sentence. He promised to behave better, but a leopard can't change its spots. Origin. The saying comes from the Bible, in the book of Jeremiah, where the leopard's spots symbolize traits that cannot be changed. 12. A little bird told me. This expression means a phrase used when one doesn't want to reveal their source of information. Example sentence. A little bird told me that you're planning a surprise party. Origin. The expression dates back to the 16th century and may be influenced by biblical imagery in Ecclesiastes, which mentions a bird carrying messages. 13. A little from column A, a little from column B. This expression means a mix of two different options or elements. Example sentence. My decision was a little from column A, a little from column B. Origin. The phrase likely developed from printed menus or order forms, listing choices in separate columns, suggesting a combination selection. 14. A lone wolf. This expression means someone who prefers to work or act independently. Example sentence. He's a lone wolf who never joins the group's activities. Origin. The metaphor comes from wolves that leave the pack to live alone, a behavior observed in nature and later applied to independent individuals. 15. A lot on one's plate. This expression means having many responsibilities or tasks to handle. Example sentence. I can't take on another project. I already have a lot on my plate. Origin. The image compares responsibilities to food piled on a dinner plate, suggesting more than one can comfortably manage. 16. A man after his own heart. This expression means someone who shares similar values, interests, or tastes. Example sentence. He's a man after my own heart. We both love classic films. Origin. The phrase comes from the biblical description of King David as a man after God's own heart, later adapted to express shared values or admiration. 17. A mile a minute. This expression means extremely fast. Example sentence. She talks a mile a minute when she's excited. Origin. In the 19th century, traveling a mile in 1 minute was an impressive speed for trains and machinery, making the phrase a symbol of rapid movement. 18. A million and one. This expression means a large or seemingly endless number. Example sentence. I have 1,000,001 things to do before the trip. Origin. The exaggeration follows a long tradition of using large, round numbers for emphasis, similar to 1,001. 19. A notch above. This expression means slightly better or higher in quality. Example sentence. This restaurant is a notch above the rest in town. Origin. In craftsmanship and carpentry, notches were cut to mark measurements or levels, so being a notch above meant literally higher. 20. A penny for your thoughts. This expression means a phrase used to ask what someone is thinking about. Example sentence. You've been quiet all evening. A penny for your thoughts? Origin. First recorded in the 16th century, the phrase reflects a time when a penny had meaningful value, symbolizing a small payment for someone's private reflections. 21. A penny saved is a penny earned. This expression means saving money is just as valuable as earning it. Example sentence. We should cut unnecessary expenses. A penny saved is a penny earned. Origin versions of the proverb appeared in 17th century England and were later popularized by Benjamin Franklin in Poor Richard's Almanac. 22. A perfect storm. This expression means a rare combination of factors that result in an unusually severe or difficult situation. Example sentence. The pandemic and economic recession created a perfect storm for businesses. Origin. The term originated in meteorology to describe the rare convergence of weather systems and became widely known after the 1997 book, The Perfect Storm. 23. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This expression means a visual representation can convey complex ideas or emotions more effectively than words. Example sentence. Instead of explaining, I'll show you the photo. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Origin. Popularized in early 20th century advertising and journalism, the idea reflects a long-standing belief that visual imagery can communicate more powerfully than lengthy explanation. 24. A piece of cake. This expression means something very easy to do. Example sentence. The test was a piece of cake. Origin. The phrase may be linked to 19th century cakewalk contests, in which winners received a cake, making success seem simple and rewarding. 25. A plum job. This expression means an especially desirable or rewarding position. Example sentence. She landed a plum job at a top law firm. Origin. In 18th century Britain, plum referred to something highly desirable or profitable, possibly influenced by the association of plums with rich desserts. 26. A rare bird. This expression means something or someone unique or unusual. Example sentence. She's a rare bird in this industry, bringing creativity and kindness to her work. Origin. The phrase traces back to the Roman poet Juvenal, who described a truly exceptional person as a rare bird. 27. A scaredy cat. This expression means a person who is easily frightened or timid. Example sentence. He won't watch horror movies. He's such a scaredy cat. Origin. The term emerged in early 20th century American children's language, comparing a timid person to a skittish cat. 28. A second bite at the chair. This expression means another opportunity to achieve something. Example sentence. After failing the first time, he hoped for a second bite at the cherry. Origin. The phrase comes from 19th century British English, referring to getting another chance at something desirable, like picking fruit. 29. A sight for sore eyes. This expression means something or someone that brings relief or joy upon being seen. Example sentence. After hours of walking, the cabin was a sight for sore eyes. Origin. The phrase became widely known in the 18th century through Jonathan Swift's writings, though similar wording appeared earlier. It plays on the literal idea of eyes tired or strained, suggesting that a welcome sight brings physical and emotional relief. 30. A sitting duck. This expression means an easy target, vulnerable to attack or criticism. Example sentence. Without proper defenses, the village was a sitting duck for invaders. Origin. The term comes from hunting language, describing a duck resting motionless on the water, and therefore easy to shoot. By the early 20th century, it was used figuratively for any defenseless target. 31. A slap on the wrist. This expression means a mild punishment or reprimand. Example sentence. The CEO received just a slap on the wrist for the company's environmental violations. Origin. The phrase emerged in the late 19th century and compares a light legal or social penalty to the minor physical gesture of tapping someone's wrist, suggesting symbolic rather than serious discipline. 32. A snowball effect. This expression means a situation where something small and insignificant gradually grows larger and more impactful. Example sentence. Once the rumors started, they had a snowball effect and quickly spread throughout the office. Origin. The metaphor comes from the image of a snowball rolling downhill, gathering more snow and increasing in size and force. An image commonly used in the 19th century to describe escalating events. 33. A snowball's chance in hell. This expression means no chance at all, an impossibility. Example sentence. With no experience, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting that job. Origin. This late 19th century American expression relies on vivid contrast, since a snowball would instantly melt in extreme heat, making survival impossible. 34. A sticky finger. This expression means a tendency to steal or be dishonest. Example sentence. The shopkeeper noticed the boy's sticky fingers after some candy went missing. Origin. The phrase developed in the early 20th century from the image of fingers that seem to stick to objects they touch, humorously suggesting habitual theft. 35. A stitch in time saves 9. This expression means taking action to solve a small problem now prevents a bigger issue later. Example sentence. Don't wait to fix that leak. Remember, a stitch in time saves 9. Origin. The 17th century proverb comes from sewing, where repairing a small tear promptly with one stitch prevents it from widening and requiring many more stitches later. 36. a stone's throw. This expression means a very short distance. Example sentence. The cafe is just a stone's throw from here. Origin. The phrase dates back to the 16th century and refers to the approximate distance. An average person could throw a stone, a simple and practical measure of closeness. 37. A storm in a teacup. This expression means a great commotion or fuss over something insignificant. Example sentence. Their argument over seating arrangements was just a storm in a teacup. Origin. This 19th century British expression exaggerates a minor disturbance by comparing it to a violent storm confined within a small teacup. The American equivalent is tempest in a teapot. 38. A tall order. This expression means a difficult or challenging request. Example sentence. Finishing the entire project by tomorrow is a tall order. Origin. The phrase appeared in early 20th century American English. In this context, tall meant large or excessive, suggesting a demand that is hard to fulfill. 39. A torrid time. This expression means a period of difficulty or hardship. Example sentence. They had a torrid time in the early days of the business. Origin. The word torrid originally referred to intense heat, from the Latin torridus. In mid-20th century British usage, it came to describe periods of intense stress or hardship. 40. A wild goose chase. This expression means a pointless or hopeless pursuit. Example sentence. Trying to find that old book turned into a wild goose chase. Origin. The phrase appears in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, 1590s, where it referred to a type of horse race in which riders followed a lead horse unpredictably, much like chasing a wild goose. 41. A wolf in sheep's clothing. This expression means someone who pretends to be harmless, but is actually dangerous. Example sentence. Be careful around him. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Origin. The expression comes from the Bible, specifically the Gospel of Matthew, where it warns against false prophets who appear gentle, but are inwardly harmful. 42. About time. This expression is used to express impatience when something long awaited finally happens. Example sentence. It's about time you arrived. We've been waiting for hours. Origin. The phrase developed in everyday English and was common by the early 20th century, expressing relief or frustration over delayed events. 43. About to. This expression means on the verge of doing something. Example sentence. She's about to make an important announcement. Origin. This straightforward English construction has been in use since, at least, the 19th century to indicate something imminent. 44. Above and beyond. This expression means doing more than what is required or expected. Example sentence. Her commitment to the project went above and beyond our expectations. Origin. The phrase grew out of ordinary directional language in the 19th century, where above suggested exceeding a standard and beyond implied going further than required. 45. Above board. This expression means honest, fair, and open. Example sentence. Their business practices are completely above board. Origin. The term dates back to the 16th century and likely comes from card games, where keeping one's hands above the table or board showed that no cheating was taking place. 46. Above the law. This expression means exempt from following rules or regulations. Example sentence. No one should feel they are above the law. Origin. The phrase has been used since the 17th century to express the principle that no individual, regardless of status, is exempt from legal accountability. 47. Above the salt. This expression means in a position of honor or importance. Example sentence. The top executives were seated above the salt at the banquet. Origin. In medieval dining halls, the salt cellar was placed at the center of the table. Important guests sat above the salt, closer to the host, while those of lower status sat farther away. 48. Above water. This expression means out of difficulty or debt, stable or secure. Example sentence. With the new funding, we can stay above water financially. Origin. The phrase comes from nautical imagery, where staying above water means not drowning. By the 19th century, it was widely used metaphorically for surviving hardship or debt. 49. Accident of birth. This expression means a situation or advantage that one has purely because of the circumstances of their birth. Example sentence. His privilege is simply an accident of birth, not something he earned. Origin. The phrase has been used since the 18th century to emphasize that social status, wealth, or rank may result purely from being born into a particular family, rather than from merit or effort. 50. Accident waiting to happen. This expression means a situation that seems inevitably destined to result in a mishap or problem. Example sentence. That old ladder is an accident waiting to happen. Origin. The expression gained popularity in the 20th century and reflects modern awareness of safety and risk, suggesting that certain dangerous conditions make disaster almost inevitable. 51. According to Hoyle, this expression means following the rules or accepted standards. Example sentence. The referee made the decision according to Hoyle. Origin. The phrase refers to Edmund Hoyle, an 18th century English writer who published authoritative books on the rules of card games. His name became synonymous with strict adherence to proper procedure. 52. Ace in the hole. This expression means a hidden advantage or resource. Example sentence. The new partnership was his ace in the hole during the negotiations. Origin. The expression comes from poker, particularly games in which a card is dealt face down in the hole. An ace kept hidden could later secure a winning hand. 53. Ace up one sleeve. This expression means a secret strategy or resource. Example sentence. She had an ace up her sleeve when she presented the surprise evidence. Origin. The phrase developed from card cheating, where a player might secretly hide an ace in their sleeve to produce it at the perfect moment. 54. Achilles heel. This expression means a vulnerable or weak point. Example sentence. Procrastination has always been his Achilles heel. Origin. The expression comes from Greek mythology. Achilles was dipped in the river Styx to make him invulnerable, but his heel, where he was held, remained unprotected and ultimately caused his death. 55. Acid test. This expression means a definitive test that proves the value or quality of something. Example sentence. The team's ability to handle pressure in the finals will be the acid test. Origin. In the 19th century, jewelers used nitric acid to test whether gold was genuine, since real gold would not dissolve. The phrase later came to mean any decisive trial of authenticity. 56. Acknowledge the corn. This expression means to admit the truth, often of a minor mistake or embarrassment. Example sentence. I acknowledge the corn. I made a mistake in the report. Origin. The phrase likely comes from early 19th century America and is often linked to a humorous story about a farmer who admitted to secretly taking corn. The admission became associated with confessing a minor wrongdoing. 57. Acquired taste. This expression means something that is not immediately appealing, but becomes enjoyable over time. Example sentence. Strong blue cheese is definitely an acquired taste. Origin. The phrase appeared in the 19th century to describe foods or drinks that require repeated exposure before appreciation develops. 58. Across the board. This expression means applying equally to all categories or individuals. Example sentence. The company decided on a salary increase across the board. Origin. The term comes from horse racing, where placing a bet across the board meant wagering on a horse to win, place, and show, covering all outcomes. 59. Across the pond. This expression means on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, typically referring to the US or the UK. Example sentence. My relatives across the pond are excited about the upcoming holiday. Origin. The phrase emerged in the 20th century as a humorous way to minimize the vast distance between Europe and North America by referring to the Atlantic Ocean as a pond. 60. Act high and mighty. This expression means to behave arrogantly or with a sense of superiority. Example sentence. She always acts high and mighty, as if she's better than everyone else. Origin. The phrase developed in 19th century America, combining high, meaning elevated in status, with mighty, meaning powerful, to describe someone who exaggerates their importance. 61. Act of Congress. This expression means something that is very difficult to get done or approved. Example sentence. Getting a budget increase at work feels like it requires an act of Congress. Origin. The phrase refers to the formal legislative process in the United States, where passing a law requires multiple steps and approvals, making it a symbol of difficulty and delay. 62. Act of God. This expression means an event beyond human control, often a natural disaster. Example sentence. The storm was an act of God, and insurance covered the damage. Origin. The term developed in 19th century legal language, especially in contracts and insurance policies, to describe natural events such as floods or earthquakes, for which no person could be held responsible. 63. Act one's age. This expression means to behave in a manner appropriate for one's age. Example sentence. Stop fooling around and act your age. Origin. The expression became common in the 20th century as a reminder that maturity and behavior should align with one's stage of life. 64. Actions speak louder than words. This expression means what you do is more significant than what you say. Example sentence. He keeps promising to help, but actions speak louder than words. Origin. The proverb dates back to the 17th century and reflects a long-standing moral teaching that deeds are more convincing than promises. 65. Add fuel to the fire. This expression means to worsen an already tense or difficult situation. Example sentence. His rude comments only added fuel to the fire during the argument. Origin. The metaphor has been in use since the 16th century and draws on the literal act of adding wood or fuel to flames, causing them to burn more intensely. 66. Add insult to injury. This expression means to make a bad situation worse. Example sentence. Losing the game was disappointing, but hearing their taunts afterward added insult to injury. Origin. The phrase traces back to a Latin fable by Phaedrus, later entering English in the 18th century, and conveys the idea of compounding harm with humiliation. 67. After the fact. This expression means referring to something that occurs after an event or decision has already happened. Example sentence. They only admitted their mistake after the fact. Origin. The term originated in 19th century legal language, particularly in the phrase accessory after the fact, describing someone who assists a criminal after a crime has been committed. 68. Against the clock. This expression means rushing to finish something before a deadline. Example sentence. We're working against the clock to get the project completed. Origin. The phrase developed from timed competitions in sports, where participants compete directly against the clock rather than against each other. 69. Against the grain. This expression means contrary to what is natural, expected, or comfortable. Example sentence. His suggestion went against the grain of company policy. Origin. The phrase comes from woodworking. Cutting against the natural direction of wood fibers makes the task more difficult, and the metaphor was adopted in the 17th century. 70. Against the run of play. This expression means a sports term describing a score or outcome that goes against the flow of the game. Example sentence. Their last-minute goal was completely against the run of play. Origin. The phrase emerged in 20th century British sports commentary especially in soccer, to describe a result that contradicts the overall pattern of the match. 71. Age before beauty. This expression means a humorous way of allowing an older person to go first. Example sentence. You go ahead. No, please. Age before beauty. Origin. The saying appeared in late 19th century British social settings and was often used playfully to acknowledge age differences in polite company. 72. Agree to disagree. This expression means to accept that people have differing opinions and not argue further. Example sentence. We agreed to disagree on the best way to handle the project. Origin. The phrase dates back to the 18th century and reflects a tradition of civil discourse, allowing individuals to maintain harmony despite opposing viewpoints. 73. Agreement in principle. This expression means a general agreement on main points, with details to be finalized later. Example sentence. The two companies reached an agreement in principle before the final contract was drawn up. Origin. The term developed in 20th century legal and diplomatic language, where negotiators would settle broad terms, first while leaving technical details for later drafting. 74. Aha moment. This expression means a sudden realization or insight. Example sentence. I had an aha moment when I finally understood the solution. Origin. Although the exclamation, aha, has been used for centuries to express discovery, the phrase, aha moment, was widely popularized in the late 20th century by Oprah Winfrey to describe moments of personal breakthrough. 75. Ahead of one's time. This expression means having ideas or qualities that are advanced or innovative for the current period. Example sentence. Her designs were ahead of her time, influencing fashion for decades to come. Origin. The phrase emerged in the 20th century to describe individuals whose ideas seemed too progressive for their era, but were later recognized as visionary. 76. Ahead of the curve. This expression means being more advanced or progressive than others in the same field. Example sentence. The company's investment in renewable energy keeps them ahead of the curve. Origin. The phrase comes from statistical and business graphs, where performance is plotted along a curve. Being ahead suggests anticipating trends before they become widespread. 77. Ahead of the game. This expression means having an advantage or being well prepared. Example sentence. By completing the project early, she's ahead of the game. Origin. This mid-20th century sports metaphor refers to being in a leading position during competition and was later applied to business and daily life. 78. Air about. This expression means to carry oneself with a certain demeanor or attitude. Example sentence. He has an air about him that commands respect. Origin. The phrase developed in 18th century English literature, where air referred to a person's outward manner, bearing, or subtle aura. 79. Air rage. This expression means extreme anger or disruptive behavior by a passenger during a flight. Example sentence. The flight was delayed due to a passenger's air rage. Origin. The term was coined in the 1990s as commercial air travel increased and reports of aggressive passenger behavior became more common. 80. Airy-fairy. This expression means something fanciful, unrealistic, or impractical. Example sentence. His airy-fairy plan to win the lottery didn't convince anyone. Origin. The phrase originated in early 20th century Britain, using playful rhyme to mock ideas considered vague, dreamy, or lacking substance. 81. Albatross around one's neck. This expression means a heavy burden or ongoing problem. Example sentence. The old debt became an albatross around his neck. Origin. The expression comes from Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, in which a sailor who kills an albatross is forced to wear the dead bird around his neck as punishment and guilt. 82. alive and kicking. This expression means active and in good health. Example sentence. Despite the rumors, the old band is still alive and kicking. Origin. The phrase appeared in the 19th century, originally describing someone physically vigorous enough to be both alive and able to kick, later extended metaphorically to organizations or traditions. 83. All along. This expression means throughout a period of time from the beginning. Example sentence. I suspected her motives all along. Origin. The phrase dates back to at least the 18th century and developed naturally from everyday English to indicate continuity over time. 84. All and sundry. This expression means everyone without exception. Example sentence. The news was shared with all and sundry at the gathering. Origin. The phrase originated in 16th century Britain. Sundry means various or separate, and pairing it with all reinforced the idea of complete inclusion. 85. All bark and no bite. This expression means someone who talks a lot or threatens but never takes action. Example sentence. He always complains, but he's all bark and no bite. Origin. The phrase likely arose in the 19th century from the image of a dog that makes noise but does not attack, symbolizing empty threats. 86. All bets are off. This expression means the situation is unpredictable and the usual rules no longer apply. Example sentence. With the storm approaching, all bets are off for tomorrow's picnic. Origin. The phrase comes from gambling, where a sudden change in circumstances might cancel wagers, making previous expectations meaningless. 87. All ears. This expression means listening attentively. Example sentence. I'm all ears. Please tell me what happened. Origin. The expression dates to the 18th century and creates a vivid image of a person being nothing but ears, fully focused on listening. 88. All eyes and ears are on. This expression means everyone is watching and listening to a specific person or event. Example sentence. All eyes and ears are on the CEO's announcement about the merger. Origin. The phrase combines earlier idioms, emphasizing sight and hearing to describe intense public attention. 89. All fur coat and no knickers. This expression means attractive or impressive on the outside, but lacking substance or value. Example sentence. The fancy car looked nice, but it was all fur coat and no knickers under the hood. Origin. The saying developed in 20th century Northern England as a colorful way to mock superficial showiness without real substance. 90. All hands on deck. This expression means everyone is needed to help. Example sentence. We need all hands on deck to finish the project by Friday. Origin. The phrase comes from 18th century naval commands, where sailors were called above deck during emergencies or important maneuvers. 91. All hat and no cattle. This expression means pretending to be impressive or knowledgeable without having the substance to back it up. Example sentence. He brags about his wealth, but he's all hat and no cattle. Origin. The phrase arose in 20th century Texas, where wearing a large cowboy hat without owning cattle suggested false claims of status or expertise. 92. All hell breaks loose. This expression means a situation becomes chaotic or out of control. Example sentence. All hell broke loose when the game went into overtime. Origin. The phrase dates back to the 17th century and is often associated with John Milton's Paradise Lost, where the forces of hell erupt violently. 93. All in a day's work. This expression means something routine or expected as part of one's responsibilities. Example sentence. Fixing flat tires is all in a day's work for a mechanic. Origin. The expression appeared in the 19th century to describe tasks that are simply part of normal daily labor. 94. All in good time. This expression means eventually, don't rush. Example sentence. You'll get your promotion all in good time. Origin. The phrase dates back to at least the 17th century and encourages patience by suggesting that events unfold at the proper moment. 95. All in one piece. This expression means safe and unharmed. Example sentence. After the long journey, we arrived all in one piece. Origin. The expression developed in the 19th century and refers to remaining physically intact, without injury or damage. 96. All it's cracked up to be. This expression means as good as it is reputed or expected to be. Example sentence. The new phone wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Lots of hype, but it didn't deliver. Origin. The phrase appeared in the mid-19th century. Cracked up meant loudly praised or boasted about, often in advertising or exaggerated claims. 97. All mouth and no trousers. This expression means full of talk but lacking action or follow-through. Example sentence. He says he's going to start his own company, but he's all mouth and no trousers. Origin. This British expression, common in Northern England, criticizes boastfulness without substance, contrasting bold speech with the absence of real achievement. 98. All over but the shouting. This expression means the outcome is certain, though final actions or formalities may still be pending. Example sentence. After scoring 3 goals, the match was all over but the shouting. Origin. The phrase dates back to the 18th century and suggests that once the decisive event has occurred, only the noise, celebration, or protest remains. It paints a picture of a contest already decided, with only the crowd's reaction left. 99. All over hell's half-acre. This expression means spread out widely or far from one another. Example sentence. The tools were scattered all over hell's half-acre, making it hard to find anything. Origin. This colorful 19th century American expression likely refers to a vast, rough, or chaotic stretch of land. Hell's half-acre was used to describe unruly districts or wild terrain, emphasizing disorder and wide dispersion. 100. All over the board. This expression means randomly distributed or inconsistent in quality. Example sentence. The quality of their products is all over the board. Origin. The phrase developed in the 20th century and may draw from games or charts where items are scattered across a board. It came to describe inconsistency or lack of clear direction,